giving value to the opposite things. And all of these are very cogent pieces of writing, and they really stand the test of time, but they do testify to India's role in the evolution of his thinking. And of course he was deeply influenced by Gandhi, and Gandhi's preoccupation with the economic viability of village communities and the dignity, human dignity of the rural poor. Schumacher's intellect and compassion, I always feel, strike home even today. Second thing is India matters globally. The destiny of the BRIC countries, Brazil, Russia, India, China, came out of the famous Goldman Sachs report in 2003. With their physical vastness, and that's one of the things that strikes people, and I was talking to someone before, on visits to India, the physical vastness and huge rural populations will, as the Goldman Sachs report, drive the growth of the world economy for the next 50 years. So they will impact us here in America. And among these, some of India's statistics are awesome. For example, roughly 1 in 8 of the global population lives in an Indian village. 1/3 of the world's poor, those living on less than $1 a day is the standard definition, live in India. The number of people living in rural India on less than $1 a day exceeds the total population of the United States. India is still ranked at 125th out of 177 in the UNDP's Human Development Index. So those things do remind one just that it is worth watching India navigating its social and economic challenges. And the third thing is, I think, that we in the UK are bound more closely to India than to those other members of the BRIC countries. It's a statement of the obvious in a way, by history, language, trade, culture. So rural India is, in one sense, if we choose to see it that way, our other self, our direct gateway into the huge challenges of the third world, from which we can easily be insulated. We have mutual experience and learnings to share with India. Watching rural India can help us bring ourselves back to basics, a deeply traditional and durable lifestyle, way of living with each other, with animals, and with the planet. And we can project easily into the way that India is now facing the urban and rural balance. India's cities are exploding. Middle classes are expanding. Technologies are evolving. Their quality of life is suffering, and their traditions being put into a melting pot. All of these things we can observe happening, and I think that we are very well placed to identify with them. No other European or Western country, it struck me, has the same one-on-one relationship as we have with India. So Jeevika Trust was founded, as you've heard, by Schumacher in 1970, and since 2005, our geographical horizons in India have expanded, and our focus of interventions in village life have expanded to cover water and sanitation, women's livelihood in villages, and health and nutrition. Those 6 points give us an agenda for what we're trying to do. And I thought I'd just finish by saying we have, like many people, we have a vision and mission and values, but our vision statement for India is an India which is an integrated society without endemic, absolute rural poverty, and in which the rural population is free and able to contribute and share in the growth of national wealth and well-being. So we come back to the word we used in our title.
Thank you, Andrew.
Just interesting, I think Arundhati Roy was quoted as saying that the middle class in India is India's biggest secessionist movement, completely detached from the fate of society as a whole. I mean, it is going its own way for reasons I think all of us in this room can understand. If we have opportunities you go for them, you know, and it's got a lot to do with education and the rest of it. But I thought it summed up the idea that they are detached from, particularly in India. I mean, the vast rural population is just out of reach and very difficult for them to identify in the pathway that they have chosen to go. I can quite understand that.